Mr. President, Ravi Gupta, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some thoughts and remarks based on my own experience. No doubt ICTs have changed the world and will continue to do so. When you ask what supported development globally the most over the last 20 years, many will tell you that it is the mobile phone. Others will simply refer to the Internet. The Internet, once developed as an information tool for scientists at CERN, Geneva, the potential then discovered by the military, and only end of the 80s, it became available for public use. Governments were in the third row as clients for hard and software suppliers. E-government started slowly and did not enhance the demand to the expectations of the suppliers. Certain governments wanted their policy to get ready first. Others started application by application until it became clear that the set of basics are to be followed if ICTs can serve the purpose, be it in performing government entities better, in their internal work sphere, or in their duties to render public services quicker and at less costs. Among those basics were the curriculums about what ICT should really deliver and to whom, standards for hard and software, the designs of the applications, the capacity building processes, etc. For some, that total of basics became their e-government policy. For others, the principles to observe when implementing applications. Fact is that the vectors of time and the solutions available call for speedier use of their potential for better governance, for more efficiency and for more demand-driven service delivery. Citizens want to harvest the benefits of ICTs. With the development of the social medias, there is for them a new space and place to openly address issues related also to governments and governance, for amplifying voices and challenging the actors in the political arena as well as the administration. That place is local, but the space is global, is without borders. What you do there is remembered, and many users discover the advantage but also the need to get guided by a certain etiquette, because how you speak and how you write there is also remembered. Others do have to change their rules of behavior, and today we have to ask the question, what are the ethics of Facebook, Twitter, and so on? We deal with that, for example, at the Globe Ethics Network in different working groups with professors on ethics, students, the young and the elder generation. There is no additional responsibility there in those social medias, like in printed magazines or journals. Each user is responsible for what he or she is doing. And I repeat, that space will always remember. Social medias will not only influence politics, but also the way public administration is called to render the services to the public. Governments cannot anymore just, like an oasis out of the box, in a kind of a vacuum, procure their policy and what services they want to deliver. The same goes, by the way, for the marketing strategies of the private sector. They are going to change drastically in the coming years because of those social medias. 20 years ago, the definition of good governance was related to transparency, to accountability, to the rule of law, and to the respect of human rights. Seldomly, there were talks about records management as the baseline. There are governments and administrations, and I experienced that in Latin America, in Africa, but also in Asia and in Europe, who enthusiastically go for e-government, but when they see the degree of transparency, the changes for procedural or administrative laws becoming necessary, they suddenly hesitate, or they even do interrupt. ICTs are probably among the most effective tools to realize a high compliance regarding the rules, but also to reduce corruption, and it often leads to curtail the power of public administration because the tools are following the rules set and officials have little liberties to change them according to their mood or for particular favors. Needless to cite examples of the use and the usefulness of e-government. For example, the import duty collection rate in many countries has drastically increased. The same goes for the tax collection rate. The speed of custom procedures for imported or exported goods is beneficial to the economy. Time is money gained or money saved. Public procurements can be followed externally. It can increase citizens' trust in government. But beware of always checking that the list of exceptions is not growing. It should be diminished, and there is no reason why certain government sectors should not be subject also to public procurement. Budget decisions cannot be changed without traces. Overspending can be sealed. Spending is controlled. Certain permits, driver licenses are issued without bribes. Construction permits followed by normal procedures and not by a hurdle race. We have heard the one-stop shop concept, or as I believe to say, the one-go shop concept as introduced, for example, in Vietnam 10 years ago in some cities, and then by edict for the whole country, where the citizens can get within 14 days what they need, be it a permit for business, getting married, being a motorcycle license or whatever, and if not delivered within that period of time, then it goes higher up, and it is done within additional 5 days. But we experience now also the advantages of e-voting and, for example, in my country, also the m-voting. not to speak about the application as a virtual embassy for many countries, small countries who do not have the means to be present all over the globe. That space and place is an amazing opportunity. Technology is no barrier anymore for e-government. Access to broadband, however, is critical. The basic IT infrastructure should be government-governed and financed, or the financing mobilized. The user of it should pay back those investments. So it is a rate of return on investment very obvious. It is highly recommendable for governments to look into the economics of broadband and its impact on GDP growth. We have deliberately been working in the Broadband Commission on those issues, and please refer to the 2 reports so far published on broadbandcommission.org. It became there also obvious that the M-government, or the applications, phone-based applications, will exponentially grow stronger than probably the internet service in certain regions of the world. E-government requests as a conditio sine qua non political leadership. Leadership over time and entrusted ICT champions within the administration to make progress and not to lose energy and money in power struggles. Examples clearly show that incentives are helpful. Benefits gained should be used for doing better. The introduction of global budgets for administrative entities used to be very useful and a driver to even go for quicker change. Ownership is imperative. Governments can get support, but they, together with service providers, have to make public administration the owner. A third country cannot implement e-government for another country. E-government, well applied, will not only challenge public administration to get adequately organized, but it is also a shield of protection against political interventions or instrumentalization of means for other purposes. It puts the administration on safer ground. E-government can well lead to a higher degree of citizens' information, if not education. So there is not only a payback by better and quicker services, but also a more appropriate appreciation of what public administration is doing. There is a cost, but there are benefits. Unfortunately, there are also costs where there is no benefit. One can be very efficient in doing the wrong thing. Those hidden costs have to be recognized, detected, and the strategic controlling in any government has to deliver whether things are done rightly, but also whether the right things have been done. E-government needs governance. Both do not work without leadership. Good leaders are good listeners. They know where to go. I wish you all a good journey by doing so. Thank you.